podcasting. Anyone ever thought about having a podcast? Where do I start? Where do I begin? Here's a tip for you, something that I use, Anchor. Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. It is absolutely free, and they provide all the creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your computer, phone, tablet, whatever device you have. Super convenient. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you. Your podcast could be on Spotify, Apple Play, or Google. Grow your listeners and get as many people as possible to listen to your podcast and perhaps make some money. Everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. Let's do it.
The Disney Vibes Podcast. Talking insider tips, tricks, and pixie dust. For the most magical place on Earth, here's Andrew and Heather.
Hello, welcome to episode 15 of the Disney Vibes Podcast. I am your host, Andrew.
And I am the co-host, Heather.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's great. That's going to be a running joke for a while now.
Oh, I know.
Disney Vibes brought to you by Magical Destinations Travel, bookmdtravel.com. Like the podcast, spread the word, want to show some support. One of our agents will be with you to assist you in planning your vacation. There is no obligation for a free quote and no cost to you ever, because if you book with us, it doesn't cost you anything. Disney pays us.
That's it.
And the show. And the host and the co-host and everything else. And you can download the Disney Vibes podcast wherever you get your podcasts from. So please provide feedback and a rating as well. We greatly appreciate your support. So, Heather, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I have a joke. Would you like to hear it?
No.
Oh, I love this. I think
Blindsided. This is not in the show notes.
It's not. This is spur of the moment. I think I might make it a weekly thing. So I don't know. Everyone's going to have to let me know.
Hold on. Let me get some sound bits ready, right?
Oh God.
No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Okay. What does Mickey Mouse use to browse the web?
I don't know.
An iPad mini.
Every week I'm going to change it, folks. That's your morning corny right there.
I thought it was funny. It was cute.
Oh, I'll get you a new one next week for that. Don't worry about it.
All right, so then I have a joke. Okay.
Well, oh, you have another one?
No. I'm saying, so I'll have a joke. Right.
All right. An iPad mini. We all like that. Alrighty then. Okay, so big news. Forward. Yeah, here's what's happening. Let's move right on to the show. We have already gone off the rails. So big news came out of Disney today, Disney Destinations. We know that COVID-19 has been a constantly evolving situation for the last 2 years. And obviously, Disney has been very intentional and gradual in their approach to the health and safety protocols. But given the recent community trends, the vaccination status, and the availability of vaccines, they are responsibly adjusting their health and safety protocols for fully vaccinated guests. So beginning Thursday, February 17th, that's this Thursday, the following health and safety updates will be in place at Walt Disney World Resort and Disneyland Resort, so both of them. Face coverings will be optional for fully vaccinated guests in both outdoor and indoor locations. Guests who are not fully vaccinated are expected to continue to wear face coverings in all indoor locations, including attractions and theaters. Face coverings are still required by all guests ages 2 and up on enclosed Disney transportation, including buses, monorails, and the Skyliner. So we do have a chart here that we will be able to post. Heather, I'm going to let you do that.
Sure.
And it's pretty much like a know before you go information. Again, it does evolve. This can change, but I think it's the first step in the right direction. We kind of knew this was coming with Universal making that announcement last week with them relaxing the mask mandates. So again, a lot of things are optional except for transportation.
Right.
So, and I think some people will consider that a slight sense of normalcy.
Absolutely.
Another thing I wanted to talk about, well, we talked about the masks. Something that's always brought up to us is, are my kids too young for Disney?
Ooh, good question.
And I think it inevitably comes up a lot. We're waiting until the kids get older to take them. Why? That's the question. Why?
Or it is a common objective. Well, my kids are too young that we hear.
Right. And I'll preface this by saying only you know what is best for your family.
Correct.
We all have different situations, circumstances, and everything. But basically, just a lot of viewpoints that perhaps you haven't thought of. And we're not going to tell you what you should or shouldn't do. And to be honest, there are tons of families and parents have had these thoughts too. And it could be we're only going once, or they're too young to appreciate it, or the kids won't remember the trip. And the last one really bothers me because our kids always remember the trip. They simply have those memories. And I know they say, but let's say this is a once-in-a-lifetime trip. If you truly are going only once, waiting until the kids remember the trip makes sense. But, if we look at the crazy crowds that are seen all year, I don't know if that is the case. We know we're a prime example. It's not a once-in-a-lifetime. We love Disney. We are going pretty much annually with the exception of the pandemic. Mm-hmm. So, again, everybody's situation is different, but I did want to mention that, if you think you're only going to go once, then absolutely wait until they're 5 minimum.
I would say so. Absolutely. I mean, because then they're school age, but then, I think they are able to definitely appreciate, still feel the magic, especially in the Magic Kingdom area, because, you'll, whether it's, your girls with the princesses or your boys with Star Wars and all that, they'll really appreciate it. And I have to say, how old was Sophia when we took her for the first time?
15 months.
Yeah, 18 months old. And
not even
besides us going as a family, I went, I don't know, when I was in college, so maybe within the last, 5-10 years. And then you never went.
Well, I went. I didn't go annually. I think I went a total of 2 times. Mm-hmm. That I can remember. Definitely one. I remember Epcot 86. But yeah. Right. And I've been to Disneyland obviously as well.
Oh, right.
So, I would say twice maybe, but definitely the once.
Right.
And I get it, and everybody's situation is different, there's a factor of whether or not what you put value on is really what it comes down to. And when you say maybe perhaps children are too young to appreciate it, and yes, we know there's a cost associated with Disney. We know there's a cost associated with anything right now, honestly, with inflation and everything. As the prices went up, we know with food and everything. But I don't want to think that the kids aren't enjoying an experience that you're bringing them on. They're going to, most children are going to love any experience, whether it be the beach, a water park, or Disney World or something similar. I do think that they are going to be engaging, laughing, dancing, and taking in all the magic that is Disney. And I think they will remember those trips. Maybe not going to remember every single little thing.
Right.
But there are those things that they are absolutely going to be engraved in their memory because we see it with our kids.
Yeah, even if it's getting a little trinket along the way. They don't do this now as much, but when they had the autograph books, we would have them every year, and every character we would have them sign. And for the longest time, they would always be around the house, and they would look through it. I would actually write in the back of the autograph book the date in which we went. And just like certain memories, it's almost like a little scrapbook, I guess you could say.
Right.
But whether it's that, or if you're on, if you do want to make it a, not like a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Right. You may not go every year.
Right.
Fair enough.
But go often enough where you can, still partake in the pin,
pin trading. Yeah. That's a huge thing.
There's definitely those little tidbits that I feel that, we've seen our kids take away.
Right, and there's a couple bonus perks if you're going to bring your kids at their younger ages. Bonus perk number 1 is you have date flexibility. So what I mean by that is, we are hamstrung in the sense that as educators as well, we are not able to just take off at any time when the crowd calendars are not crazy. We have to go when the masses go. So having non-school age children, again, people do pull their children out of school, which whichever that's their choice. But your time is not your own if you want your kids to not miss any school. So you take advantage of, those date-specific deals or less crowded times a year. Mm-hmm. But once school gets, involved, then you're kind of, you're hamstrung by that. The other thing is if they're younger, anything under the age of 2, they get in free.
That is big.
That's a big money-saving thing.
Very big.
And they eat free.
And they eat free.
Because it's like sharing a plate, right?
Right. And, this is another episode, but we definitely have tips and tricks on how to navigate, with not toddlers, infants maybe, and then
Both.
up to preschool. Yeah. So, toddlers. So that's another episode, but all of our kids have been there 2 and younger.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, really, we enjoy it with the kids. Love it. This was Walt's vision. And his purpose for creating Disney World, Disneyland, to have a place where adults and children can just have fun together.
Right.
And whether they remember the trip or not, I know you and I will. And those are those cherished moments because, all right, I should have the cry sound up because Heather cries every time we walk down Main Street. However, those are those cherished moments that, you see, you get those pictures and you can't just relive them because they do. They grow so fast. So that's that family memory box that, you kind of just store it away.
Right.
All right. Enough of all the sappy stuff. I'm done with it.
Okay.
I did want to mention things that have been coming out it's kind of lost some traction, I should say, is the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser Resort at Disney World. So technically that is opening up March 1st, and it's the 2-night experiences at Walt Disney World. A lot of people have been canceling.
I've heard.
And it's located behind Galaxy's Edge in Hollywood Studios, and the pricing and so forth. And it's more, I guess you should think of it more like a cruise
ship, yeah.
Than a regular traditional hotel stay. And the reason being is it is offering a 2-night itinerary where all guests arrive and depart at the same time, similar to like Disney Cruise Line or others.
Right.
But unlike DCL, the resort is going to put the guests at the center of the adventure that they control, like a choose-your-own-adventure. So you think of it as a hybrid between a live-action role-playing game and like all-inclusive resort, hands-on enrichment through entertainment experience, through Disney Institute. So they've tested these concepts before, but this is definitely pushing the envelope and the scope and the level of immersion, and it's not like a regular hotel. I don't want to say this, but it's like mandatory fun. I don't like the scheduling.
Yeah, I think you have to have the mindset and the expectation that this is going to be a non-relaxing type, environment. It's not like you're going to sit there and just admire the surroundings and, be in the actual Star Wars, Galaxy.
Well, you're going to Batuu, right?
Yeah.
But there's no windows in the guest room. It doesn't have. I'm pretty sure it's not going to have, the fancy rooms. I mean, there'll be Star Wars themed, but concierge spa. I don't even know if they have a pool.
Right.
It's not going to be your typical Walt Disney World resort, which would be a deluxe or beyond a deluxe with the pricing for 2 nights. With here, but it's just something totally different, and it's there's availability. March is sold out, so is April. And after that, it's pretty wide open. So those are those hardcore fans,
Actually,
through September.
It's interesting that June has some limited availability. But then when you go in July and August, it's pretty open. Interesting.
Well, and I think part of it is the cost. I mean, we had put that on a previous episode and shared it out with, the paying full price and the cost that's associated with, with the Galactic Star Cruiser adventure. And there's also costumes that they're now selling as well that go from $70 to $150 for adults and $60 to $100 for kids. So the whole cosplay thing. And listen, I love Star Wars just as much as almost everybody else. Well, I can't say as much as everybody else. A huge Star Wars fan.
Right.
I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Am I going to dress up? Probably not.
Oh.
Okay, and I just don't like to be forced on certain schedules. I mean, you think about even on a cruise ship, you're not going to be forced to go to bingo or whatever it is. You have flexibility in what you decide you want to do. If you don't want to get off the ship at a port, you don't. You stay on. You enjoy the amenities. So I'm intrigued. I feel like at some point we have to go.
I agree, because we need to be able to share out our experience.
Correct.
And, whether or not it could be appropriate for, someone with younger kids or older, whatever. I agree. So we will definitely get there. But again, it's definitely has to be the mindset that you are going to be immersed and expected to do things.
Yeah. So what's included? The Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser vacation packages include 2-night stay in a cabin or suite. So if you're going for longer, like, you have to have another hotel reservation. But they say ongoing immersive and interactive entertainment where the choices determine your experience. Food and beverages on the Star Cruiser, excluding alcoholic and specialty beverages, and a quick service meal at Docking Bay 7, Food and Cargo, or other select locations at Disney's Hollywood Studio. Admission to Disney's Hollywood Studios for you for your planetary excursion in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and then valet parking, and there's a Star Cruiser Magic Band. Ooh. So that is all included. 2 guests per cabin. It's $1,209 per night, or $4,809 for the voyage total.
Per 2 guests.
For 2 guests.
1 cabin.
2 guests. 3 guests, 2 adults, 1 child. You're looking at pretty much $5,300, and family of 4. Well, this says 3 adults, 1 child, but let's just say, family of 4, $5,999. That's steep.
Yeah.
For 2 nights. Well, just remember,
right.
it's 2 nights.
We'll wait for it to come down a little bit.
I understand that. I'm just saying, I look at the value when we talked about, and I don't want to say it's a money grab, but we looked at the value of what you could get with food at Disney World and the cost of everything, and they haven't brought back the dining plan. But that's a lot of money. If you think of the flagship resort, Grand Floridian, typically $750, $850 a night. Okay, and that could sleep 4 to 5. So
right.
It's a big difference for what you're looking. It's very, very expensive. The experience is not cheap, and that's $5,000 to $6,000 off season weekdays. That's a lot. I can only imagine what the peak dates are, for cost. But again, it's an experience, and I'm hoping that once March 1st comes around and the huge Star Wars fans go on this experience, they are going to absolutely just blow our minds with, social media and talking about the experience overall.
Right.
I don't know.
We'll have to wait and see. Again, it could be like, someone come off and say, I'd do it all over again, no matter how much. So.
Right. And to each their own.
Right.
Same thing with the last thing we were talking about with, kids at a certain age or
Sure.
whatnot. Okay. I think that's pretty much for ears what's happening, unless you had something else.
No, just if
Co-host.
if you are interested in learning more about this experience, please feel free to contact us at bookmdtravel.com, and one of our agents would be more than happy to investigate and possibly make this happen for you.
That's it. So let's talk packing list tips and tricks.
Oh, boy.
We always talk about things that we talked about groceries a little while ago and having food delivered to your hotel, and a lot of reasons for that. Obviously, the increase in prices due to inflation and so forth, and scarcity. Restaurants have reduced hours and menus. You can only make your reservation 60 days out right now. Fewer dining spots are open. But again, with the mask mandate changing, I'm hoping all of this is changing. I don't know what the current Florida law is as far as physical distancing at restaurants. So there's a lot of things that, kind of can apply when we talk about, how can you maximize things when you're packing. We did talk about the groceries and snacks and going to Amazon, having things shipped and so forth. But when we talk about packing in general, a lot of it really depends upon the time of year. That's number one. So now wintertime versus summertime is going to be completely different. I don't think you're going to have to worry about a refrigerated backpack as much now with ice towels compared to August.
Right. I was just going to say, we can offer our insight based on when we go, which is typically in the summer months in August. But, we are going to give you some insight as to, the research that we've done, the people that we've also talked to offer you insight as to, going in other seasons besides summer.
Right. So there's a couple things that have kind of, just we've purchased, we've used. We did mention about all the walking at Walt Disney World. I mean, Heather had mentioned how much we've eaten and how much you do eat when you're there, and you're not very cognizant of your diet. But when you're walking 9 to 10 miles a day, please make sure you have a comfortable pair of shoes. I mean, that's the biggest thing.
Exactly.
But there's a couple things I wanted to mention in addition to that. The most important one I would say is, almost, I'd say it could pertain to most of the year, is like a cooling towel. Now, obviously, Disney sells their own. We have a couple of those because we did not prepare ourselves well enough, I guess.
Well, we have learned.
It's a souvenir.
Going as often, just like, I wouldn't say this is like a must-have, but like the spritzer fans.
Yeah, I just hated carrying those
things.
things.
They're big, they're bulky, but they serve a great purpose. They're the fans that you have with water, and then you squirt. All the kids love it, and then you have to worry about trying.
I wouldn't say that's
water.
A must, though.
No, I'm not saying it is a must, but I'm just saying
off the rails. That's you. I was saying, as you want to stay cool, let's get back on.
Okay, here we go.
One of the most popular things that we have used multiple times throughout the day is those chilly towels, those cooling towels. Frog Togs has them. Disney has them.
Yep.
They could be cool and dry in some kind of scientific material, and you wet them, you wring them out, and then it's cooler than the outside air. Has that cooling relief without the complete wet mess where you're soaked, unless you're already dripping from sweat anyways. But when it stops cooling, you re-wet the towel, you wring it out, voila, cold again, right? Ponchos.
Well, hold on. Oh. Amazon has those. That's where we got ours.
Yeah, of course. Amazon's got like a 5-pack, so
yeah.
there's a ton. So pack them, obviously, before you go.
Yes.
Ponchos.
You
never know. It's Florida. Let's go. It's Central Florida. They are, a lot of the ones you can get. We do have the Disney ones because, again, live and learn. But they are technically disposable. These, the pro ponchos, they call them, but they're thicker and higher quality than those plastic bag, literally ones
right.
that, and they're very easy to reuse. You hang them up to dry in your room at the end of the day. You can throw them out, but I think that is a great option, a 5-pack, because you never know when the skies are going to open up.
Every day you have to, at least in the summertime, you have to expect some sort of, precipitation.
Precipitation, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the pro ones. Now, there are the ones that are cheaper, disposable ones.
Right.
And you can get a 10-pack of disposable ponchos on Amazon. They're currently 15% off. They are $17 for an assorted 10-pack of plastic ponchos, and obviously prime shipping. But that is something that can save a ton of money. $17 for 10. Ponchos in the parks are literally $10 each. And if it's going to rain every day, you want that 10-pack of ponchos, and they're small and easy to throw in a backpack. We do bring our heavier duty. The Disney ones are heavier duty, but throw them in the bottom of the backpack. That's what we did, and every day they're in the backpack in case, because you never know when the skies are going to open up.
Right.
A lot of people have said about parade blankets. So we know parades and entertainment is coming back, but there are some blankets that you could bring if you really don't want to sit on the ground and you want to keep your bottom clean. There are some blankets, and they are packable blankets, and $25. Waterproof picnic blanket, shove it in the pouch, good to go. It's sandproof, everything like that.
Perfect. A stroller fan, I think, would be great.
That's you, yeah.
Especially when you have little ones. So I actually can envision the evolution of the stroller fan, because I want to say that's probably within the last 3 years that has been a thing that I've noticed that Disney's even created or made their own. But basically, when you have, the babies in the stroller, it is hot again when you go in the middle of August.
I think just fans in general. The humid air can really...
Right. So whether you can go on Amazon and you
$22.
can just go ahead and put in a search, stroller fan. They have the ones where they attach to like the sidebar of the stroller. And then then they're either battery operated or you could charge it with a USB charger. But I do feel that we had it for Jameson when we went the last couple of times. And then even I had one myself that I wore for not a stroller. I wasn't in a stroller. I had a fan that I put around my neck that I had, and then I was able to, give it to the kids. It was pocket size. I wore a fanny pack, and I was able to put it in my fanny pack. So definitely having one, and it was charged by a USB. So you don't have to worry about bringing or buying batteries and, disposing
That's
them. That's
key. And we actually have I believe it's an Anchor is the brand, where it's got 6 USB ports to plug in.
That is huge. I definitely think we should talk about that really quick.
Go ahead. Well, what else is there to say about it?
Well, no. So
you buy the port, you just plug things in.
Well, no. What about a battery charger?
That's not what I went to yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. My mind went there.
You're jumping off the rails. No, you're off the rails again. Forget it. All right. Something new that I do want to talk about that I have thought a lot about this year is the Apple AirTag. So I know some people have used the Tile Mates in the past, or Tiles. Those trackers for your keys. Apple AirTag, since it kind of it connects, especially if you're in the Apple ecosystem, connects to your iPhone. It's a great addition for a couple things. If you are driving, you can kind of track the car. If you have checked baggage, you can leave one in there. The 2 things I thought of.
Mm-hmm. And I know where you're going.
Do you?
I think so.
Do you? What's number 1?
Oh, well. Number 1 as in the most important one, or like just...
What's the first one on my brain?
I don't know. I would put one on my child for a tracking device.
That was not number 1. That was number 2. Okay? Number 1 is your stroller. Track your stroller.
Oh, but I would put it on my child, too.
I'm getting there, okay? Walt Disney World also has a lot of new strollers. And listen, as you park a stroller, cast members are always moving them up, moving around, relocating them. It can make it difficult to find. So an AirTag could be a benefit, for that. And again, you could use a Tile if you are not in the Apple ecosystem. But like Heather was saying too, for our children, I would just get the Apple AirTag like with a key ring, and then I'd tie it on their shoelaces.
Yeah, shoelace, or if they have like
just
a belt
not at the
loop
water
or
park.
Whatever. Right.
No one has a belt loop usually. Well, I mean, they're wearing shorts.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
But anyway, but really quick, the Apple AirTag, what it is a location device that you can control on your phone.
Right. It's like Find My iPhone.
Right.
Find My Child.
Oh, Find My Child.
So, but let's talk about, as Heather had started going from 0 to 60 before I was ready, the external chargers.
Yes.
So, they do have a couple things. The charger, like we had mentioned, we have a high capacity battery. I believe is ours, or ours is the compact one. Anyways, you can get multiple charges out of this. I think ours is the
30-hour maybe, something like that.
I don't know, and it's not specific to a certain phone. I'm pretty sure it is the ultra compact, but you can do, I think it's 3 to 4 charges. We charge it every night, and it's, I don't know, $20.
Oh, it's
if you're going to film, or take photos, or listen, you need to live off your phone because of Disney Genie Plus and Genie and the tip board and dining, and so you need to have power banks. And I'm just a big fan. Never had problems, knock on wood, of Anchor, Anker. They do a great job with their quality of their material, their workmanship. Everything works out well, and it's safe, and you do have to take it out. The security does want to see it, obviously, as you go through. But again, it is available on Amazon, and I'm giving Heather a lot of homework because she has to link these things.
Everything. I'll take care of you. I got you all. Don't worry.
In a post. Another thing I thought about too is like glow. You don't need a ton, but some glow necklaces, glow sticks, that kind of stuff. Now, hear me out. All right, I'm not going to rave or start playing some techno music, but this is what I'm going to say. The kids will have fun, number 1. Number 2, you attach those things to your stroller at nighttime, a lot easier to find.
Ooh, I like that idea.
And your kids.
Yes.
So it's like an AirTag for nighttime.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
And then it's disposable. You don't have to bring it back home.
Correct.
All right, see?
Chuck
So you were going to hate on me, and then look at that.
I can't believe we didn't think of this beforehand.
Right. Backpacks. Backpacks are a must. Let's talk about two different variations of a backpack. We have a packable backpack that we bring down. That's our day pack. I forgot the brand.
Eddie Bauer?
Possibly.
Okay.
But you may already own a backpack, so you want to get something that has rip-stop material, something that's easily packable, something that'll keep you stay cool,
right,
waterproof, and lightweight, because you're wearing that and walking 10 miles a day. So that's definitely important. The other thing that is, this is not a must. It's really, if you're interested in it, is a cooler backpack. Now, the hard part about cooler backpacks is they're not collapsible, so you have to transport them. But the amount of water that, many people may drink, and we're going to get into, the water bottles, is a huge thing. If you buying that case of water from Amazon and you load that up, it's going to save yourself some money there.
It will. I mean, it is a little
it's cumbersome. It's bulky.
It's bulky. It's going to be heavy. But honestly, it for when we go in the summertime, it is an absolute must. So this will be our first time having one when we go, because we actually met up with friends that had one. We're like, oh my God, again, why didn't we think of that? So I will be wearing the lightweight backpack, and I'm going to make sure
it's going to be a flip-flop.
Heather-proof.
No,
meaning
flip-flop.
I'm not wearing the one with all. You're out of your mind. I'm not wearing the cooler one. It's going to weigh more than me.
It is not.
Anyways, we still have a stroller, so somehow we'll probably still have a way in which we can.
I love my stroller.
Oh God, that is something I need to.
I don't have time for that today. Looking at time, we're running out of time.
Okay.
But we will talk about strollers again, because Disney has also released their new strollers. But I want to wrap up some other things that we need to pack. No, I'm not going off the rails. I'm focused. You're talking about the stroller. Collapsible water bottles. They don't have filters, but they roll up very easily.
Yep.
We also bring Pedialyte packets that you buy from Amazon. You can buy down there or have it shipped ahead of time. But it's a great alternative, space-saving and convenient. I think we did mention this before. Packing cubes. Heather
Do yourself
loves
a favor.
packing
Get
cubes.
the packing cubes. They're 100% worth it.
And these packing cubes, they are not a lot of money.
No.
You can get a 4-piece pack of packing cubes for $23.
Yeah.
And that's medium size. All different colors, have a color per family member. Packing cubes are definitely where it's at. Compression cubes are another one. Very similar, but they're more like a mesh bag. And they vary between $20 to $40 depending upon what you want. But there's 6 pieces in a set. Some of them may not be, size-wise, fit a lot of garments in there. Mm-hmm. But those are great. Sanitizing wipes, obviously sanitizer spray. That's all over Disney World as we speak now.
Right.
Heather, I've always been a big fan of the sun bum face, the stick for sunscreen.
Yep, 100%. Rather than trying to, slap it all on my children's faces, they hate that. So I did have a couple of these sticks. Basically, it's almost looks like a chapstick.
Yep.
And then you just put it on their face. It's easy to store. Just put it in you can put it in your pocket, but it was really easy to access and easier on the children. So I support that 100%. And can I go off the rail really quick?
I guess I don't have a choice.
No, it's just something I feel that is also important to take or to keep in mind, but it doesn't have to do with sunscreen. It has to do with reusable straws. Yeah. So we brought reusable straws this time around, and we did get, oh God, Andrew, what's the material? The flappy ones.
Silicone.
Silicone. Yes, thank you. We bought silicone straws because I think it's Florida, they do not have plastic straws. They have paper straws, and actually the paper straws have gluten in them. So our daughter has celiac, so she can't have that.
Right.
But just the fact of the matter is that if you are dying and you want to drink, and I do prefer to drink out of a straw, I don't want the straw melting in my mouth. So having those silicone straws really did help. So Amazon, I think we got a 20 pack.
Yeah, I wouldn't I wouldn't say that's off the rails. That's important.
Okay.
You just jumped ahead of the rails.
I did.
Some people like the stainless steel ones. They do have those as well, as well. But you have to they can
be dangerous though.
Correct.
With young ones, so stick to those silicone.
Right. So I mean, adults only have at it. Otherwise, I would definitely say stick with the silicone ones, and then you can clean them. I did have the neck fan, the personal neck fan.
That's right.
Rechargeable USB. It was definitely cool. Cool you down for a little bit. That is something if you're interested in having a neck fan. I know it sounds crazy, but it actually worked. It's only $30. And again, these are prices. If you pack and plan ahead, they are a lot cheaper now than when you get down to either those vending machines at the airport that are selling them, or the stores in Orlando International Airport, or actually on Disney property itself.
Right. And just another thing, we're saying like these neck fans and stuff. Again, keep in mind the time that you are going season-wise, but also keep in mind you want to keep yourselves and your children comfortable, happy, because there could definitely be sensory overload for everyone. So if you're just keeping everybody cool, have those cooling towels, have your backpack with the waters and your fans, whether it's, a hand fan or the fans around your neck. Trust us, it's worth it.
I don't think there's pretty much anything else. We had touched base about food a while ago.
Right.
I don't want to get specific into types of shoes or anything like that, because everybody has their own preference of what's going to be comfortable for, when they walk, 10 miles a day.
Right.
If you do have the opportunity, if you're into the pin trading, I would definitely look ahead to try to get some pins so that they're only $1 per pin. You can typically buy some online, in a variety of areas, instead of the $8 to $10 per pin that you would find at the pin trading post on property. Other than that, I think that's the tips that I have as far as items.
Right. There is one that we haven't had to use, but on multiple Disney boards, I've seen that a lot of people have experienced chafing when they walk. So they actually do make almost like a deodorant that you can use to put in those problem areas. It's called a body glide. So, because you're doing 9-10 miles of walking and it's hot and, you don't want to be uncomfortable. You don't want, Band-Aids, blisters, stuff like that.
Yeah, those can all help, deal with the significant discomfort and pain that everybody's body and how they react is different. So you'd rather be safe than sorry. Right. So totally understand all that. I know we gave a ton of information and we talked about specific items that we have. We will go through our carts from the past, and Heather can link or find something comparable, because you know how Amazon goes in and out of stock with certain sellers. Overall. All right, you're raising your hand. I see it.
I have one more thought that this is going to be very, I feel like beneficial. So this isn't exactly, to keep in mind when you're going to Disney, but when you store all these items, when you get back home, have a designated Disney bin, just like we do. We have a bin to house all of our Disney stuff. So everything that we just said that we have, we put in there.
Yes, so that next year we know where it is to just throw it in the suitcase. Got it.
See, that was good.
So, yes, that's fantastic. You can raise your hand for that any time of the day, all right? But there's a bunch of items, and we know that some of them are unique, but they're really, we're recommending or saying things to maybe consider to help you improve the experience of your Disney trip. And also more common things, like we said, Band-Aids and Pedialyte and, Crystal Light that you won't want to forget, too. If you not just want to drink water all the time. Now, this is not to say you need to pack everything on the list, but it covers, I'd say, the majority of the important stuff that could be very important to you or that you may personally need. We don't want to, shampoo, conditioner, all that stuff. That's unnecessary, because Brady will tell you he loves Disney shampoo and conditioner.
He's obsessed.
So yeah, and they're in the hotel rooms, they're in the parks, so you really don't need that kind of that kind of stuff. And we definitely don't want you to be taking 3 suitcases per person on a week-long trip to Walt Disney World. So that being said, Heather, any final thoughts?
No, I have homework to do. I got to get that together.
Yes, you do.
All right, I'll hook you all up. Don't worry.
Okay, hit him with the socials.
Oh, socials. All right. So Instagram, Magical Destinations Travel Co. Facebook is Magical Destinations Travel. You can find us on Twitter, Magical Trav. That one always gets me. And then, of course, our website, bookmdtravel.com.
That's it. So, till next week's episode, live life, do what makes you happy, and let the Disney vibes flow.
Find Disney Vibes for all your vacation needs on the web at bookmdtravel.com.